Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and if I have a smile from ear to ear, it's because I just got a package from Marco Benedetti, and I splurged. But this is probably going to be the last splurge of the year. We're for the better part of it. And let's flip the camera and show you what came. Now, one thing I want to mention about Marco is that I've mentioned it every time I've done a video on one of his decks. They always arrive unscathed, never a problem, never an issue with any of them. And Marco told me that he shipped it to me on Monday, and today's Wednesday, midday, and it just arrived. So, I mean, it's like less than a week that this deck came to me. Less than a week from Italy, and I'm on the East Coast of the United States. This handmade box. Oh, I can't wait to see. Oh, you have no idea. You'll join the collection of my... Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. I'm so excited. I am so excited. You know what this is? So pretty. All right. Look. Now, for those of you who follow me, I love the Mitelli. And, in the course of, I don't know, the past year or two, past couple of years, I've been on a mission to get a complete deck of a Mitelli, because I was, speaking about it a lot, that I just love the Mitelli, and I needed it to be a 78 card deck so I could use it, because it's an abbreviated deck. I've discussed this before. When an Italian word has ino at the end of it, it means it's an abbreviated or diminutive form of something. So it was a terracino, which meant that it was a card game with less than 78 cards. So anyway, I've been on a mission to get a full deck, and my friend Shell David created a deck for me, which I've loved and I've used a lot, but it's a small one, and I wanted one that is a little more, special. And Marco, just at the same time, happened to be creating this. Oh my gosh, look at that. I have number one. Oh my God. How exciting. Handmade. Oh my gosh, look at that. So, it comes in a box, okay? A nice handmade box. For any of you who've received anything from Marco Benedetti, you know that this is his special decks usually come like this. Oh, wow. And a card that tells us what we need to know. I'm just holding it like this if you'd like to read it. All right. And the back has, there's more information on the back. So I think it'll be packed with information. Now, this is great because I've purchased other decks from Marco before, and I don't know if they came with, information. So I appreciate seeing that. Oh, wow. Now, this is a deck that's handmade and wrapped in the way that it used to be done in order to make the cards, in order to make the cards last longer. All right, so it's a chunky deck. It's a thick deck. I probably won't be able to riffle shuffle it because my hands aren't big enough, but I might find a way to break it in two. But if you're a guy and you have big hands, That's nice. And Marco decided on the back to put the coat of arms of the family, or the name of the patron who I believe commissioned the deck, and I think his name was something like Benevolio, something like that. And this card of information was written by Cheryl Smith, so you know it's good information. So wow, I'm just in awe. It looks lovely. I mean, it looks like you would expect, the backs of a deck of a affluent family, right? That looks really nice. So because of that, the edges are yellow. Oh, wow, look at this. So we have the Fool. And the Magician. It's a rather unusual, several cards of this deck are unusual for what they portray. So we have, the Fool being, young of spirit, because he's kind of like the Pied Piper, the children. He's entertaining children. So we have a Fool in that tradition. And he makes music. Sometimes fools do make music, right? Now for the Magician, we have an individual who has a balloon, and they did have balloons in the 1600s. They used animal intestines for the thing to fill with air. This, I don't know, but it kind of looks like a wind toy, like when we make pinwheels for children. Maybe that's some type of wind toy. And he's, I'm not sure how he relates to the Magician, other than just a guy who's having a good time. Could be somebody who comes through town, like a wandering kind of entertainer. Somebody who's transient. Now these cards, 2 through 5, I don't have them. Well, I'm just doing them in the sequence they arrived. So I don't see 4 cards between 1, 2. Oh, here it is, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we don't have the female pope and the priestess. We have secular and religious ruler here. I don't know if some of the cards aren't in the proper order. Then we have the Lover. The Lover card. The Chariot. Temperance. Just nice colors. Everything about it. It's just so. It's so nice, and it's so nice to have a deck, that was created in the way that it had been back in these days, where they, to give longevity to the card, the backing was folded onto the front to make the edges, last. Justice, Fortitude, the Wheel, the Hermit. This is a rather unusual card that represents the concept of the hanged man. This was a punishment for, I presume, the crime of treason. What a cool devil. I love this representation of what we would consider the Tower card. Whenever I see it, I say it. It just reminds me of the person who says, "May God strike me dead if I'm not telling you the truth." And of course, he gets struck. So I think it's a rather amusing way to portray that. We have the star, which doesn't he look like at some points other cultures may have used him as the hermit card, but this is the star card. The moon, the sun, and earth, the world rather. And then of course in some decks, and then some regions, the judgment card came last, after the world card. Now when we think of the world card, in most of the decks we see it as the accomplishment of all our worldly, all our worldly accomplishments, right? But here, the world card doesn't really feel like that. It kind of feels like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, almost like it's a Lenormand card, So it's got a different connotation. He's got the whole world, so it could be positive in that way. But with freedom and power come, responsibility. So it's a little bit of a different message, right? And then, of course, judgment, as in some cases, it was the ultimate card. So I didn't see a fourth card, so one. So I'm wondering if I'm missing a card, because I think there should be, there were 4 cards, duh. So they must have been sticking together. And I thought I didn't have 4 cards. And I thought maybe they were out of order or something, but I do have them. There they are. Okay, doke. So now we're going into the Suit of Cups. I like how the knights in this deck, some of the knights show their back to us. We don't see much of that, right? So I appreciate that, because it gives you an idea about if something's coming or going. 10, 9. Now remember, the 2s through 5s of each suit had to be recreated. I didn't see the 2 through 5s. Here we are. Marco put it in a different order. Okay. So because the Terracino deck would not have had cards 2 through 5 for each suit, Marco had to create them. So we have the ace and the 2. And I think you agree, these are seamless. Would we know that these were not cards created for and with the deck at that time? So it's nicely done. So that was the suit of coins. Now we have the suit of swords. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we'll figure it out. King of Swords. Queen of Swords. Knight. Love it. I love the color. What do you think of the color? I think the color is just great. And I love the richness and appropriateness of the back. Feels good. Feels real good. Okay, we have the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I presume they're back here. Marco put them in the back. So we have the ace, and then we have, wait, what is this, the ace of? Ace of Swords, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the cards that Marco would have had to have made to, create it for the deck. Oh, I'm getting so confused. Here's this, I don't know if I showed those already. Okay. I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm just going to show the cards, whatever order they're in. Now the color is just so pretty. So yeah, this is a splurge kind of deck. For sure. But you know what? It's getting as close to perfection for me as I can get in a tarot deck. And after having so many decks, I just really appreciate having a deck that speaks to me as well as this one does. Now, is it a perfect deck? No, maybe not, because of the female Pope and the Empress is not accounted for. The female energies are not in there. So, yeah, it kind of bugs me. I could apply those qualities to the cards that are in those positions. I really could. So, because after all, individuals don't necessarily, have to be represented as male or female. So, I could apply the understanding that I might have of the female Pope onto the second card, without having to talk about, genders. Anyway, 7. But, it's so nice to have a deck that is close to what I would consider a perfect deck for me. I love that the coins have people's faces on them, because whenever I handle money, and I don't know if this is the thought that was behind this, I don't know. But whenever you handle money, you don't know where it came from. It's passed so many hands. It's passed, doctor, lawyer, artist, poet, magician, bullfighter person. I mean, it's passed through so many hands. It could have, passed through the hands of George Clooney, or or somebody that you admire and think is very special. So I love that the coins, for me, have a very social aspect to them. And, makes me think along those lines, like, you just don't know where this money's been, And that's the way money is. And these must be the extra cards that were with the suit of batons and then the suit of coins. So this would have been a card. These were the cards that Marco would have created. And I like that he put his name on one of those cards, because we see that it was an addition, right? No, and we know that it was an abbreviated deck, and now we know that Marco created, a new deck that includes the whole thing, So that's nice that it's on that card. So I hope you love this deck, because I do. And I just can't wait to use it. And you'll be seeing a lot of this deck, I think, in the next couple days, where I showcase it and maybe compare it to the other Mitellis that I have, and do some readings with it. But look at the color. I mean, the color is just. Oh, this is a dynamic. This is a historic deck, but this is a deck that has life. You know, it's got energy. It's got life. Oh my goodness. Until next time, friends, peace and stay well.